Hello, good afternoon, everybody. We are here, we are Pilsen Alliance, and today we're going to be speaking with, my name is Rosa Esquivel, and I am a board member from Pilsen Alliance. And today we're going to have Anel Sansen. She's part of our Pilsen and Defensa group, which they are working on immigration issues around the community of Pilsen. And we are doing community outreach, and we are also informing the community about their rights when it comes to immigration issues. And so today, thank you, Anel.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. I know you are very involved in the community, right?
Yes,
and how did you get involved in immigration issues?
Well, it all started when the primaries were going on. I saw a problem, the lack of interest in our community, especially our immigrant community who were eligible to register to vote and vote, weren't doing so, and they just weren't motivated for it. So I saw an issue. I decided to get formal training, and I started mobilizing, getting, everyone who was eligible to register and, get out the vote at first to motivate them to make it out to the polls. And then eventually, I got into citizenship, and that's what I'm doing right now. Now I'm mobilizing and doing outreach for people that are legal permanent residents here and are eligible to get their citizenship. We're providing them the information.
Oh, thank you so much. That's amazing. And also, I know that you are involved with Mujeres Latinas. So what type of work do you do with Mujeres Latinas?
I've been involved with Mujeres Latinas, supporting every initiative and campaign they're part of. And right now I am taking the lead as a citizenship advocate, working in the New Americans Initiative campaign, where we are working 50 plus organizations, working collaboratively in the Chicago area and the suburbs. And, where we're bringing services, legal screening, application processing, English and citizenship test preparation services. And we're hosting citizenship workshops for people that are legal permanent residents and are eligible for citizenship.
And how did you hear about the Pilsen and Defensa group, which is part of Pilsen Alliance?
Well, just being in the community, I've been connected to the community, so I hold a special place in my heart with Pilsen, and I think it's really important that the families in Pilsen, get the right information, especially in this times that we're living, where our unfortunately families are living in fear. It is really important that we're letting them know that they do have rights, providing all the resources that we can with all the right information that we could, provide for them. So that's why I'm here, and I am excited to work in collaboration with Pilsen Alliance and Pilsen Se Defiende.
Okay, thank you so much, Anel. I think it's great what you are doing. So everyone, if you have any questions, you can call at 312-738-1060. Again, you can call us at the number 312-738-1060. I have one more question for you, Anel.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you are amazing in what you do.
Thank you.
And I feel like we need more people like you to get involved in this type of organizations. We need good people. We need people that really care. And I wanted to ask you, what type of support are you giving the group of immigration that we have in Pilsen Alliance, the Pilsen and Defensa group?
Well, working with Mujeres Latinas en Acción, we do provide trainings for Train the Trainer. We provide Know Your Rights workshops to relay this information. So I am here, and we're willing to work in collaboration with Pilsen Se Defiende to do Train the Trainers, to make sure that, all the volunteers and everyone that's interested in helping, to make sure they get the proper informal training to be able to relay not only the correct information, but, all the information that we can, nothing's too little, nothing's too much. So we definitely will be doing Train the Trainers, and then we'll also be hosting Know Your Rights workshops in Pilsen.
Okay. So any last words that you have for the people out there, like that they want to get involved and how they can become involved if that's one of their goals, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Right now, we're living in a hard time, and it's the perfect time. It's never too late to be involved, to help. And if you're interested, you could always connect with an organization in your neighborhood. And if you live in Pilsen, Pilsen Alliance is a great organization to get connected with. And also, any other organizations in the neighborhood. If you guys have any questions regarding citizenship, you guys could always contact Mujeres Latinas en Acción at mujereslatinasенaccion.org. So, yes, definitely.
Thank you so much, Chanel. Thank you so much for being here with us and for talking about all these amazing things that you do in those two organizations and in the community. You know, as a Latina and as a woman, I feel very empowered by people like you.
Thank you.
and motivated. You know, and I feel that's amazing. That's an amazing work that you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here, Anna.
Thank you for having me.
So in case you guys want to get involved in Pilsen Alliance, you can go to our office that is located at 1744 West 18th Street, or you can call us at 312-243-5440. You can also visit our Facebook page, Pilsen Alliance. And you can go to our website, which is the pilsenalliance.org. So today we also have Will Bickery with us. And he's also part of our Pilsen and Defensa group from Pilsen Alliance. So I feel that you are very involved in this group, and you are doing amazing work in the community, doing outreach. And how do you think Trump's policies has affected the undocumented community, like not only in Pilsen but also like nationally?
So I would not want to speak for the undocumented community, but I would say that Trump has not been very successful in his national policies. But he has been very successful in creating a climate of fear locally. So I think the police are emboldened to break the law and to abuse immigrants and intimidate them with their immigration status, as are landlords and employers who have been engaged in intimidation, such as asking people for papers when they apply for an apartment. And that's something that I have reported to me a couple of times when I was doing outreach in the community with the other Pilsen and Defensa members.
Oh, wow. And how did you hear about the Pilsen and Defensa group?
I was very interested in the immigration issue.
Okay.
And following it online a lot, but I wasn't active, even though I was very disturbed by some of the developments. So after Trump got elected, I felt like I really had to get active because he had been so offensive to Latinos and Latinas and so brazen in his racism. So I saw an announcement for the Pilsen Alliance. There was going to be a community meeting about what we can do to defend our community regarding immigration. So I went there and I kept coming to the meetings, and I really got along with people, and people were clearly very dedicated. And we eventually named ourselves Pilsen and Defensa, and we're going to be dedicated to trying to create community resistance.
Okay. And also, what is other things that motivated you to join the Pilsen and Defensa group?
I think that we have been waiting a long time for a legislative solution, and that I was very happy when Obama made the DACA policy, because I felt this was very good, that it was a very good way for people to live with dignity. I was frustrated with some aspects, such as paying hundreds or thousands of dollars to get your status when you're already part of this category of immigrants that has been thoroughly vetted, that is has no criminal history or anything, and you've been acknowledged that you're sort of like an exemplar, and then you're being forced to pay money when you may be among the poorest citizens of this country. So I started to feel frustrated with the legislative solution after that. And I was very frustrated that so many people were deported under Obama. And I think that this frustration was building, and I see that the legislative method is not working very well because politicians view this issue as something they can just push down the road a little ways farther. And we're not seeing the resistance that we want from politicians. So I think on a community level, we need to start promoting resistance and vigilance in the community so that people can protect themselves and their neighbors from deportations and other forms of intimidation and exploitation.
Okay. When are usually the meetings that Pilsen and Defensa Group are having? Do they do it every week or bi-weekly? How does it work?
Every Thursday at 6 p.m. in the Pilsen Alliance office on 1744 West 18th Street, right next to the Pink Line 18th Street stop. We have our meeting starting at 6, ending usually around 8. You can come a little later, leave a little early if you're very busy. And we'd really love to have you there.
Thank you so much, Will. Also, any last thought that you have for people, that like you want to get involved, to, let them know what are your expectations or your dreams, your goals as belonging to this Pilsen and Defensa Group?
I think that you have to have a lot of empathy for the undocumented people, and that you can't expect people to be perfect. You can't expect the other volunteers to be perfect because there's a lot of hard work and there's no blueprint, and you can't expect people who are under exploitation to be perfect. Maybe they do have some criminal offense, maybe they have a record, maybe they got deported once and they came back. That I think that our group believes it's a human right to migrate for a more dignified life, whether that means being with your family, whether it means not living under a starvation wage or under a police corruption or military dictatorship, that we think that it's a human right to migrate, and we want to defend that right using the means at our disposal.
Okay. Thank you so much, Will. Thank you so much for being here. So again, if you would like to get involved in the Pilsen Defensa Group or any other type of issue in the community, you can visit us at Pilsen Alliance, 1744 West 18th Street, or call us at 312-243-5440. Also today, I am really excited to have one of our members of Kappa, which is a Council of Artists of Pilsen Alliance. Mashuska, how are you doing today?
Thanks for having me.
I'm so happy to have you here. So I want to ask you, what is Kappa?
Kappa is the result of a collection of organizers, artists, residents, mostly in Pilsen, that came together to really figure out how we can support Pilsen Alliance and the work that they do.
Okay. And I know you are involved in art, but what motivated you to join Kappa?
Yeah, so I think that a major motivation for me was a very renewed sense of the importance of art and activism and bridging those two things. And I recently moved back to Pilsen after being away for a year. And especially since I am still a new resident, it was really important to get connected with my community and immediately find out what's going on, what are the issues, and what can I do to support those causes.
Of course. And we also we want to motivate people, right, to also create art and have a voice in the community of Pilsen, and especially the artists being displaced, like they have to move away, and I feel like they need to have a voice in the community, and this is a great way to express what everybody's feeling. Also, I want to ask you about May Day.
Yes.
What is May Day?
May Day.
And what type of project are you working on for that special day?
All right, so May Day is May 1st. It's an International Day of Workers. Historically, it's been sort of the result of union workers and really focus on sort of the standard paid worker through the work and dedication of just hundreds of unspoken organizations and grassroots movements. Now, May Day is really centered on migrants, immigrants, women that are working at home, prisoners. So it's really including so many different groups of people and the issues that need to be addressed to avoid exploitation of labor. So that's what May Day is. As far as what we're doing, so exciting. Not giving too much, but we are basically working with a few grassroots organizations, and we are preparing a sort of puppet. And there's going to be a performance that goes along with this puppet, and it is going to serve as a sort of metaphor as the importance of addressing, what can I say, a sort of core issue, or sort of getting at the heart of the system as we try to avoid being so fragmented, because when you have immigrants and you have people of color sort of working on separate issues, the whole movement is weakened. So we're going to try to set up a stage where we sort of criticize that and offer some solutions.
Okay, so also I was going to ask you, what do you think is the importance of artists to bring kind of like organize themselves, and make things happen, policy-wise? What do you think, how that should work?
Yeah, so I don't think that this is anything new since the beginning of time, right? I think art has always been very political. It's not just sort of a reflection of any type of internal world, but it is an expression, and it's very important that, especially in this climate, not as if everything was okay before 45, but especially in this climate, it's just going to be so important for artists to take that expression, put it in the public space, and don't necessarily have to work alone. You can connect with other organizations that are working to sort of fight or solve a problem that you're interested in. And hopefully they're connecting it to policy. And it's not just about something internal, but you're actually working towards change.
Okay, thank you so much. Can you tell me, when is the Kappa meetings happening?
Every week. Every week. And to be clear, this is not just a typical meeting. Most of the time we're coming to collaborate and create art. So those are weekly, either on a Monday or Tuesday. For the most part, I will recommend just getting in contact with Pilsen Alliance so you can sign up for a mailing list and stay informed.
Thank you so much. I was going to ask you one more question. So I know you also have wellness program, kind of like disconnection, from everything, and that's kind of like a part of artists having self-care, and not only artists but also other people in the community that are working on issues in the community. And when do you have those meetings as well?
Yeah, so Self-Care Sunday. So every Sunday at 6 o'clock at Plus Gallery Chicago. The best way to follow us and stay connected is to look us up on Facebook or Instagram, or of course just visit our website, plusgallerychicago.com.
Yes, okay. So let me see one more thing.
Can I just add something?
Yes, of
You know, because I know you mentioned, self-care. There's so much activity and action and really serious topics. I mean, the other day I asked someone, hey, besides activism, what is it that you're into? And she quickly corrected me and said, no, this is not something I'm into. It's not a hobby. It's something I have to do. And so day to day as organizers that are doing such like heavy and emotional work, I would say that it's so very important to make sure you put in some time for self-care, and the creation of Self-Care Sunday at Plus Gallery Chicago really stemmed from that.
Okay. Are you working on any type of show or, any type of presentation at the moment?
Yeah, so again, at the gallery space, we are going to have a new show. It opens May 5th, which is really next Friday. So unfortunately, artists, you have missed the call. But again, just connect with us to make sure you don't sort of miss any other shows. But if you're in the neighborhood, please come to our opening show. It's about respectability politics. And so the opening show begins at 6:30.
Okay. And what is respectability politics?
Sure. Respectability politics really is a phrase that tends to float around. I didn't come up with it. And it really serves to kind of identify the tendency that groups that are marginalized or in a minority group, it's this tendency for them to really be kind of policed by other members in their same group, minority group. Let me give you an example. So as a Afro-Latina woman, there is sort of like a history that I have with my family and saying or encouraging me to dress a certain way.
Okay.
So one example may be, don't wear that, because you're not going to get a job. Don't wear your hair like that because,
Okay.
people are going to think a certain thing about you. So respectability is, again, a way to kind of resist the status quo.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mashuska, for
Thank
being
you.
here and for being a part of Kappa and being so supportive of the Concilio de Artistas de Pilsen Alliance. And also, we want to invite everybody and want to make a call to join us on May Day. We are working with the Ayotzinapa Committee of the 43. And we are going to be gathering at Plaza Tenochtitlan at 10:30, which is in 18th Street in Blue Island. And then we are going to march to the Mexican consulate. And we're going to meet there at 11:30. And then finally, we are going to Union Park. And we're going to meet there with everybody else at 1 p.m. and from there we're going to march to Daily Plaza. So if you want any other information, you can reach us again at Pilsen Alliance 70, and you can visit us at 1744 West 18th Street and call us at 312-243-5440 for any other type of information. You can go to our Pilsen Alliance page. And thank you so much, everyone, for being with us today. And see you next month at the same time, 6:30 p.m. Thank you so much for being with us today. Have a nice evening.